Hey, Assassin's Creed fans! We're not here to do anything exciting, but we're here to look at something I think is freaking amazing, and that is the Palace of Westminster. In obviously in the Westminster part of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Um, it's freaking awesome. The only problem is with the capture card. Here we look. Look at the size of this thing. It's it's just it's huge. I mean, it's gigantic. It's amazing, and it comes off in the game gorgeous. Um, the last two Assassin's Creed had some frame issues. This one runs pretty good, and it runs solid. As you'll see here, frame rate would obviously show up even in a you know a render or a pre-record. The PS4 capture card. The only problem is you're not going to see this very detailed. When you see this on screen, it just blows you away, or blew me away. When I saw Big Ben in the palace, I thought, "Holy cow!" I thought that's pretty cool. Um, that's one of the things about Assassin's Creed. I think is through the whole series in a lot of games is seeing these places that really exist or did exist at one time and seeing them done as exact to or as realistic as they can be done. And this palace is actually done very, very close to what it was like in oddly what it was like, I should say, in probably 1870. Now that's weird because the game takes place what in 1868, right? Well, in 1834 it was demolished. Um, I don't know how much of it, but it was due to a fire, and there was a rebuild period between 1840 and 1870. That's not to say it was probably almost totally rebuilt by this time, but this palace is just even with the graphics not nearly as good in this render of it compared to when you're actually playing the game. Look at these statues. It's absolutely amazing. And it's crazy to think that this is just part of a huge world that you play in. And obviously you just don't walk around. It's not a sightseeing tour game, but it's cool to have a real place outside of a fictional place, and something as cool as London. Um, that's what makes games like this, and even games like Grand Theft Auto, even though you're not really playing, say, in LA, or you're not really, just the feel of that it's supposed to kind of be LA is really cool. And but the fact that this is like an exact replica is just amazing, and it's just gorgeous, I think. The tower on the I'm not sure if it has a name or not, but there's actually a tower I'm going to. Look at the courtyard down there. In fact, I mean the statues even in the courtyard. It's just absolutely. In fact, I think I go down. I can't even remember. The statue there to the left. Even these statues, the detail there, uh, just just gorgeous. And I love my games to be action packed, and I mainly like race games and sports games, but and I like Modern Warfare as much as the next guy, but seeing this was just, I think we need more games like this, and I hope game developers don't quit on this type of size and depth because of the smaller games coming in, the phone games, the quick games, Bejeweled, or not Bejeweled, but Candy Crush or whatever. I hope we don't lose, the ability to go in these completely different worlds and be able to explore something like, I mean, you can really learn and see something maybe that you'll never be able to see in real life that really exists. This place really exists. Obviously, you're seeing the 1868 version of it, but this is real. This is a real place, and it really exists. And to be able to go there, and to be able to do things that you could never actually even do if you were there, like climbing up a row of beautiful cutout statues there. As I'm climbing up, look at this window. It has to be, obviously he climbs faster than a normal human being. It would take forever to climb up this thing, but that window has to be 40 feet tall, I would guess. To put it in terms of height, I do know Big Ben is 315 feet, 315. I think you can look that one up, but I'm almost certain it's 315 feet tall. And this other side of the palace, there's like other towers, and I'm not really sure if this electrical thing is up there for real, because this was part of the game that I already did, and it was really cool to actually have a mission take place in this palace, or on top of the palace. Some of these places in London you can actually go into. You're literally talking to Queen Elizabeth in one part of the game. I mean, how cool is that? And you're, you know, trying to find someone who's trying to blow up the Queen. And look at this view here. I mean, this is all built. You can walk through all these roofs, down all these roads, and the sight line's pretty good. But it's even further than that. It's a huge world, and us as video gamers, we know they've built worlds like this before. But the one thing about this game in particular, and when you think about other Assassin's Creed, yeah, there's a lot of detail, but there's a lot of repetitiveness. In like Jerusalem, they would put like certain areas, but then they would put repetitive areas. They'd put key areas. The one thing I like about this one is it's all city, and there's not too much you know, everything's built different, and so it's a lot of work was done on this. I mean, it didn't really get to me until, like, I spent most of my time in the poorer areas, and then I couldn't believe the detail they put into, you know, the train stations and everything, and these were real train stations at the time, and they were all different from each other. And then when you finally make it over here, because I didn't like just travel around the world right away, I kind of worked my way over here. I was just like blown away. And then when I was on that boat in the beginning of the video, I thought, I gotta record this. I mean, this, you could see the length of it was just gigantic. And here I am, kind of, there's a little glitch there where my foot, I probably should have fell. Not many glitches though in this game. Some climbing glitches. Anytime you're going to have that much climbing, you're going to have some weird angles with your feet and stuff like that, obviously. And the climbing is a little different in this game than other Assassins. You actually have a button to help you go up or down. It feels weird at first, but then once you get used to it, you understand how it works. It actually works for the better. Look at the size of that. It's like a church on the left side. I went by it pretty quick. I probably should have slowed down there. And then the sliding down, that's kind of cool. Yeah, the game itself runs at a pretty good frame rate compared to the last two Assassins having bad frame rate problems. It's just amazing to have this much detail and then have good frame rate. I don't know if that'll come across on this video. You know, we'll see. And obviously, like I said, the detail is about half of what you're seeing, about half of the detail that I see when I play it on screen, which is, it's absolutely mind-boggling to me. It's not the most best graphical game I've ever seen. I think when games run at 60, they just look better. And to me, they're like, when you see the remaster of Uncharted, to me that looks better than anything I've ever seen. But detail-wise, this game, wow, when you really kind of slow down and not run around so much and look at everything, it just blows your mind. It's crazy. I mean, when you walk through the streets and you see guys putting up the posters they used to put up back then with the rollers and stuff like that, and people singing different songs or fighting on the sides of the street, fights that don't have to do with you, and it's just really a tremendous atmosphere they built. This assassin, here we are. We're coming to Big Ben now. Remember, the other tower did trump Big Ben, but this is Big Ben, and the massive bell, and it does ring in the game. It's actually, I'm not really sure how it works. I know the middle bell rings. I don't know if the middle bell, it has one big middle bell, and then it has surrounding bells. Obviously, they're probably different notes, but look at this. This is, you can see the detail, the gold around. I am literally, I mean, you could never do this in real life. I'm literally hanging off of the clock, literally off of the two hand. And here's the bell. This is, you see the four surrounding bells and the bigger bell in the middle. Obviously bigger is going to create a lower tone, so that's probably a lower note. There you see the lift that lifts and hits it. Not sure how exactly that works, but and how it works with the other ones. But I'm literally standing on top of Big Ben and looking out over London. It's just really cool. Going back to the game itself, running at 30, I'd rather stuff run at 60 and be less detailed. And I would have rather this game been less detailed than run at been about the detail you're probably seeing. They could have ran it at 60. But when I played, it's at such an amazing detail. I'm gonna jump off now, and probably wouldn't survive that in real life, but you see the dress they had in 1868. Two guys on the bench. You can actually still do the bench sit. It took me a while to figure that out, and I think I screwed up here. Yeah, I pressed the wrong button or something. But the guys got up and they were kind of freaked out. They're like, "Dude, what the hell are you doing, man? What the hell?" Just look at the road. I know you can see this, and when you see it with the cracks more defined, the brick that's kind of worn and detailed, and these carriages, the detail on the carriages when they're stopped. One of them would stop. This one, I think, they stopped for a second, and then when they get beat up, yeah, just a lot of detail in everything. It's amazing, this size of this thing. It's not the biggest world in video gaming, but to have detail everywhere. I mean, when you look down the river, there's boats literally just cluttering. You would think there would be so much slowdown, it'd be unbelievable, but there isn't. And I mean, you saw the background there, the streets, the detail there, pretty amazing. So that's about it. That was Big Ben. It's gonna fly off, fade out here, and for the 4 people who watch this video, hope you enjoy it. It is pretty amazing a game, and quite a different type of an Assassin's Creed, I would say, play it.